Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Smash JT. In this episode, I'm going to cover the recent video game news that's caught my eye. So let's get started. Just to get this out of the way real quick, the Super Nintendo Classic Edition has been announced. If you've been living under a rock and haven't heard about it for some reason, here's some information on it. The SNES Classic is going to release on September 29th of this year for a retail price of a laughable $79.99. I say laughable because we all know we're not going to be able to get it firsthand, and buying it from a scalper will probably be somewhere in the ballpark of $149.99, upwards of $250. Even though Nintendo promised this time that they're going to make a whole lot more of these. Yeah, I bet. And I'm not going to go through every game that's included on this individually. I'm just going to put this image up that shows all the games that are included on the US edition of the Super Nintendo Mini. The standouts for me include Super Metroid, Mega Man X, Final Fantasy III, Contra 3, Secret of Mana, and the never-before-released Star Fox 2. In other news that you may have missed, the original Pac-Man Versus that came out on the GameCube is being re-released on the Switch as part of the Namco Museum game. Other games included on this will be Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga, Galaga 88, The Tower of Druaga, Rolling Thunder 1 and 2, Sky Kid, Splatterhouse, and Tank Force. But for me, the standout title in this collection is Pac-Man Versus. If you've never had the opportunity to play Pac-Man Versus on the GameCube, this is going to be your perfect opportunity to do so. And if you've never even heard of Pac-Man Versus, I go over it in my top 25 GameCube games of all time, and that video is going to be coming up shortly. A new Monopoly game's been announced, and this one's actually a Mario version of Monopoly, but it's not the straight up Monopoly that we're all used to. It actually changes the game into being a completely different game with Mario characters. It's going to officially be titled Monopoly Gamer and deviates from the classic board game in some big ways. Instead of buying up property and racking up cash, players will complete levels and collect coins. The biggest challenges are the addition of power-ups and boss battles, which will see Mario, Donkey Kong, Princess Peach, and Yoshi tokens taking on some legendary bosses, presumably Bowser and his relatives. Power-ups will require a separate die and give players a boost for cashing out from the bank and racking up board space, and each character has a unique skill, just as they would in a standard Mario game. More characters are on the way too. There will be special power packs with Luigi, Boo, Rosalina, Wario, and Diddy Kong, among others, and those are going to retail for $2.99 each, which kind of turns me off a little bit to the idea of this board game because I enjoy a new take on the Monopoly series, but trying to do a DLC on an actual physical item just rubs me the wrong way. It always has. But I'm still going to probably buy them. And in the international news sector, there are actually going to be some Mario stamps coming out in Japan. This new set of stamps looks absolutely incredible, and I hope to find a way to get my hands on these. It might require me using Google Translate and going on a Japanese post office website, but if I'm able to successfully obtain these things, it would be a pretty cool collector's item to frame and put on your wall. It's not the first time Mario's been on stamps though. A couple years ago, Nintendo and the post offices in Japan got together and made some Mario stamps back then too. Such a cool idea. I wish they'd do this in America. And for those of you who saw my E3 predictions video, and for my third E3 2017 JT lock, I'm going with the Sega Forever subscription service. It's happening, and it will be announced. So while Sega Forever didn't officially get announced at E3, a couple days after E3 ended, they announced Sega Forever, and now it's available on mobile phones, with more games coming down the road. It's gotten off to kind of a rocky start though, and I've actually tried a few of the games myself, and the emulation is far from perfect. It skips and hiccups, and the sound is kind of crackly and off. I feel like Sega should have put a little bit more time into perfecting the emulation on these games before releasing them to the mass public. Eurogamer interviewed Sega Network's Chief Marketing Officer, Mike Evans, and discussed with him the complaints that people have voiced through the reviews on iOS and Google App Store. Now, of course, Mike Evans is in complete damage control mode right now, but I feel like Sega needs to work on these games a whole lot more before marketing them to the mass public. And finally, just a quick reminder, ComicCon is coming up on July 20th and lasting until July 23rd. I'll be there, and if any of you guys are coming to San Diego or live in the area that will be there and want to meet up, let me know in the comments section below, because I'd love to meet some of you guys. I'm going to do my best to get some footage there and show you guys what it's like to be on the ground level of Comic-Con. It is absolutely insane. I just watched a lot of footage from Too Many Games from RGC and Rebel Gaming Club, and those were great videos, guys. A part of me really wishes that I was able to bring the Too Many Games crowd to Comic-Con, because there's a lot of cool booths at Comic-Con, but it's just so damn busy, it's really hard to get to see anything. But I guess that's part of the charm of it as well. Anyways, that's all I got for news for you guys today. Let me know in the comments section what stood out to you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one.